When my daughter-in-law, Tiffany, announced that 25 of her family members were coming to my house for Christmas, I just smiled and said, "Perfect. I'm going on vacation. You guys can handle the cooking and cleaning. I'm not your maid." Her face turned white, like she'd seen a ghost. She had no idea the real surprise was just starting. "My name's Margaret, I'm 66, and for the past 5 years, I've been treated like a servant in my own home. It all began when my son, Kevin, married Tiffany. From day one, she acted like I was her personal assistant. Margaret, grab me some coffee. Margaret, clean this mess. Margaret, cook for my friends," like a fool. I went along with it, thinking it would keep the family together. But I was done. That Tuesday in December, Tiffany barged into my kitchen without knocking, wearing a fancy red dress that probably cost her fortune, likely paid for with Kevin's money. Her heels clicked on my tile floor, grating on my nerves. "Margaret," she said in that fake sweet tone I hated, "great news. My whole family's coming for Christmas. Only 25 people. Only 25. Like that was no big deal. Like I was a robot built to cook and clean. Her eyes gleamed as she listed them off like a shopping list. My sister Valeria, my cousin Evelyn, my brother-in-law Marco, my uncle Alejandro, everyone's coming. My nieces, nephews, second cousins. It's gonna be perfect." She paused, waiting for me to panic like usual. "You'll handle the food, cleaning, and serving." Of course, her words stung like little jabs. I thought of all the times I'd cooked for her guests while she took credit, cleaned up after her parties while she slept, and felt invisible in my own house. "We'll need at least 3 turkeys," she went on, ignoring my silence. "And your chocolate silk pie. Oh, and decorate the whole house. I want it perfect for Instagram." She expected my usual yes, "Tiffany," but something inside me snapped. I looked her in the eye, calm as ever. "Perfect," I said, watching her smile waver. "It'll be perfect because I won't be here." The silence was heavy. Tiffany blinked, confused. "What do you mean, you won't be here?" she stammered, her voice shaky. She sat up straighter, her perfect posture slipping. "Exactly what I said. I'm going on vacation. You all can cook, clean, and serve yourselves. I'm not your maid." Her hands trembled, her coffee cup rattling against the saucer. For the first time in 5 years, she was speechless. "But I told everyone to come," she finally said. "It's all planned. You can't do this." "I can," I said. "It's my house." Those words hit hard. Tiffany stood, her heels clicking frantically. "This is ridiculous. Kevin won't let this happen. Kevin can think what he wants," I said. My mind's made up. What she didn't know was that this wasn't a spur-of-the-moment decision. I'd been planning it for months, and I had my reasons that would soon leave them stunned. "You know what, Margaret? I always knew you were selfish. But this is too much." Her voice dripped with venom. "My family's coming from far away, some from out of the country, and you're gonna ruin their Christmas over a whim." "A whim?" 5 years of being disrespected, humiliated, and used, and she called it a whim. I stayed calm, though anger burned inside me. "It's not my problem," I said. "You should have asked me before. Inviting 25 people to my house, our house." She yelled, losing it. "Kevin's your son. This house will be ours someday." There. It was the truth she'd never said out loud. To her, I was just a hurdle to their inheritance, a temporary annoyance in the house I'd built with years of hard work. "Interesting," I said, watching her panic as she realized she'd slipped. Just then, I heard keys at the front door. Kevin was home. Tiffany ran to him, her heels clattering, whining like a kid. Kevin, your mom's lost it. She says she's going on vacation and leaving us with my whole family. I heard their voices from the living room. Tiffany's sharp and dramatic. Kevin's low and unclear. Soon, they walked into the kitchen. Kevin looked tired, his suit wrinkled, while Tiffany stood behind him, arms crossed, smirking like she expected him to fix me. Mom, Kevin started, his tone patronizing. Tiffany told me about your decision. Aren't you being a bit dramatic? My own son thought I was overreacting for refusing to be their servant. Something cold settled in me. No, Kevin, I'm being clear, but it's Christmas, he said. Family time. Tiffany invited everyone. We can't cancel now. I'm not saying cancel, I replied. I'm saying I won't be here. Tiffany stepped forward, standing between us like a wall. See, she's irrational. What do my family think? Tell them the truth, I said calmly. That you assumed I'd be your servant without asking. And you were wrong, Kevin sighed, running a hand through his hair. Mom, be reasonable. Tiffany can't cook for 25 people alone. Why not? I said, I've cooked for her parties for years. It's time she learned, but I work. Tiffany snapped. My career's important. Her career a part-time job at a boutique, probably through Kevin's connections. But of course, her time was more valuable than mine. Then hire a caterer, I said with a smile. There are great ones in town. That costs a fortune. Kevin said. Why spend thousands when you can? He stopped, but I finished for him. When I can do it for free, like always. Silence stretched between us. They looked nervous, scrambling for a way to make me give in. Look, Mom, Kevin said, softening his tone. I know you've been sensitive lately. Maybe it's hormonal changes. Hormonal. He was calling me a hysterical old woman. I kept my voice steady, though I was furious. This isn't about hormones, Kevin. It's about respect. For 5 years, you and Tiffany have shown me none. That's not true. Tiffany said. We treat you like family. The family that cooks, cleans, and serves while you have fun, I said. The family you never ask, but always expect to obey. Kevin touched my shoulder, like when he was a kid begging for something. But he wasn't that boy anymore. He was a man who chose his wife over me every time. Okay, Mom, I get you're upset, but it's just 1 week. After Christmas, things go back to normal. They're normal. Where I was invisible unless they needed me. No, Kevin, I said. Things won't go back to normal. I'm leaving tomorrow. They froze. Tiffany's voice rose. Tomorrow. You can't. My family arrives in 3 days. You should have thought of that before assuming I'd be your servant, I said. Washing my coffee cup to show her drama didn't faze me. Kevin shifted nervously. Mom, at least tell us where you're going. When are you back? I'm visiting my sister in Miami. I lied smoothly. Back after New Year's. It was a necessary lie. They couldn't know my real plans yet. After New Year's. Tiffany choked. What do we do? Uncle Alejandro bought plane tickets. Valeria cancelled plans. Marco took time off. Their problem, not mine, I said. Her hands shook, gripping the counter. Margaret, she said, her voice turning sugary. I've always seen you as a second mom. You're so important to us. You can't abandon us. Classic. Tiffany switching from anger to fake sweetness. It used to work, but not anymore. If you saw me as a mom, you wouldn't treat me like a maid, I said. I thought you liked cooking for family, she said. I thought you liked feeling useful. That word cut deep. For 5 years I thought being useful kept my family close. Now I saw it made me a shadow. You're right, Tiffany. I do like feeling useful. That's why I'm being useful to myself now. Kevin jumped in, frustrated. Mom, this isn't fair. We can't afford a caterer. The new apartment deposit wiped us out. New apartment? My eyes narrowed. What apartment? They exchanged guilty looks. We were gonna tell you after the holidays, Kevin mumbled. We found a place downtown, 3 bedrooms. Ocean view, gym, sounds expensive, I said. My voice calm but my mind racing. How are you paying for it? Tiffany's face lit up, like she'd found a way out. That's why Christmas has to be perfect. Uncle Alejandro's generous when he's impressed. Marco has real estate connections. If it goes well, they'll help Kevin's business. So that was it, not family. Not tradition, but money. They needed a perfect Christmas to impress rich relatives for financial favors, with me as their free labor. I see, I said, letting the silence hang. You need a perfect Christmas to scam your family. Exactly. Tiffany said, relieved I got it. You're so smart, Margaret. You always know the right thing to do. For 5 years. The right thing was sacrificing my dignity for their comfort. Not anymore. You're right, Tiffany. I know the right thing. That's why I'm leaving tomorrow. Their faces fell. Tiffany hyperventilated. You can't ruin our future over a tantrum. It's not a tantrum, I said. It's a choice. What'll my family think when there's no food, no host? She cried. They'll think you invited them without being able to host, I said. And they'll be right. Kevin tried one last time. Mom, if you need a vacation, we'll pay for it after New Year's. Hotel, everything. Pay with what? They just said they were broke. It was 5 years too late anyway. Tempting, Kevin, but no, I said. This is emotional blackmail. Tiffany yelled, her sweetness gone. Emotional blackmail. If refusing to be their servant was blackmail, what had they done to me for 5 years? You know emotional blackmail, I said. It's guilting me when I don't cook for your friends. It's saying a good mother-in-law puts family first when I don't clean your messes. It's assuming my plans don't matter because I'm retired. They flinched with every word, knowing it was true. That's not the same. Tiffany stammered, but her voice was weak. You're right, I said. What you've done is worse. You've taken my kindness for granted for years. The kitchen went quiet. The clock ticked, the fridge hummed. Tiffany breathed shakily. But loudest was the sound of my freedom coming closer. Because tomorrow, everything would change, and they had no clue how much. That night, while they argued in the living room, I locked myself in my room and opened my laptop. It was time for phase 2 of my plan. Brewing for months since I found something that changed everything about Tiffany. 3 months ago, while cleaning Kevin's office like an idiot, I found a folder with bank statements, emails, and legal papers. Tiffany's name was everywhere in transactions I didn't understand. That night, I went back and read it all. She'd been spending money they didn't have $50,000 in debt on secret credit cards in Kevin's name. Personal loans using my house as collateral, and luxury shopping sprees. Worse, there were emails where she bragged to friends about hiding it from Kevin, keeping him distracted while she shopped. Most chilling was a message, planning to convince him to sell my house, my home of 30 years, to pay her debts. I didn't sleep that night. Betrayal sank in, but so did resolve. I hired a private detective through my lawyer to track Tiffany's finances. It was worse than I thought. Her important boutique job was part-time. barely minimum wage, yet she told Kevin she earned triple. The extra money? Secret credit cards. She'd also lied to her family, saying we were rich. Kevin's business was booming, and my house was worth double its value, all to look successful. As I sat in my room, smiling at my laptop, I knew I'd outsmarted her. I'd moved my savings to a new bank account Kevin couldn't touch. I'd worked with my lawyer to protect my house's deed so it couldn't be sold. And the best part, I'd emailed Tiffany's key family members, Uncle Alejandro, the rich businessman, Marco, the real estate guy, and Valeria, the finance expert pretending to be a concerned mother-in-law. I accidentally sent them Tiffany's damning bank statements. Their replies were instant. Alejandro was furious at her lies. Marco cancelled his financial help. Valeria wanted to confront her sister in person. None of them had told Tiffany, yet they were waiting for Christmas to face her together. My phone buzzed with a text from Alejandro. Mrs. Margaret, we're arriving a day early, on the 23rd, to talk to Tiffany about important matters. Can you host us? Perfect timing, I'd be packing for my trip, I replied. It'll be a pleasure, but I'm leaving that day. Tiffany and Kevin will host you. His response, perfect. That's exactly what we need. I closed my laptop, smiling in the dark. For 5 years, I'd been the quiet victim, the obedient mother-in-law, the free maid. But I'd been watching, learning Tiffany's game. She thought I was weak because I was old and quiet. Tomorrow, while she slept, I'd pack for my real destination, not Miami, but a luxury hotel an hour away, with an ocean view suite booked for 2 weeks. From there, I'd watch her world of lies collapse. I'd see her family uncover her deceit, Kevin realize who he married, and her perfect facade crumble. I wouldn't lift a finger. She dug her own grave with years of lies. I just showed her family where to dig. That night, as their argument died down, I slept deeply, smiling, knowing justice was coming. At 6 a.m., my alarm rang like a freedom song. I showered, packed, and moved with energy I hadn't felt in years. Every shirt I folded was a step toward independence. Tiffany and Kevin were still asleep as I carried my suitcases downstairs. I left a note on the kitchen table with the spare keys, left early for my trip. House is yours. Enjoy your perfect Christmas, Margaret. What I didn't mention was that I'd emptied the pantry and fridge. Let them learn to shop for 25 people. I'd locked away my good china, tablecloths, and decorations in my room. If they wanted to impress anyone, they'd need their own supplies. I also cancelled the cleaning service I paid for, which Tiffany always took credit for. Let her learn what cleaning really means. The taxi came at 7 a.m. I took one last look at my house, my sanctuary turned prison, soon to be my fortress again. At the hotel, I checked into a suite with an ocean view, room service and silence. No one yelling for coffee, no one expecting me to serve. My phone started ringing at 10:47 a.m. Kevin, Mom, where are you? Why'd you leave early? His voice was groggy, confused. He'd probably just seen the empty pantry. Good morning, Kevin, I said. I figured there was no point waiting. You've got a lot to do, and I'm ready for rest, but this is so sudden. He said, Tiffany's upset her having to face reality for once. I'm sure she managed, I said. She's capable. Can you tell us where you are, in case of an emergency? I'm safe, I said. That's all you need to know, Mom. This is extreme, he pleaded. Tiffany's family arrives in 2 days. You're adults, I said. Figure it out like responsible people. I hung up and silenced my phone. I ordered lobster thermid or something. I'd never make it home because Tiffany called it too fancy. Every bite felt like freedom. My phone lit up with 17 missed calls from Kevin, 31 from Tiffany, and texts ranging from confusion to begging to anger. But the message I wanted was from Alejandro at noon. Mrs. Margaret, we arrive tomorrow at 8 a.m. Looking forward to meeting you and discussing Tiffany. I replied, I had to move my trip up for family reasons. Tiffany and Kevin will host you. I'm sure you'll have much to discuss. His reply, this might be for the best. Some talks are better private. That afternoon, during a spa massage, I pictured the chaos at my house. Tiffany and Kevin scrambling to shop, trying to fake the hospitality they'd promised. At 8 a.m., her family would arrive, expecting a perfect Christmas, but finding the truth instead. The next morning, December 23rd, my phone exploded with calls. Kevin's voicemail at 6:30 a.m. Mom, please pick up. Tiffany's freaking out. We don't know what to make for 25 people. The store's closed until 8, and they arrive then. We need help. Tiffany's, her voice breaking, Margaret, I know you're mad, but don't make me look bad. My family traveled so far. I can't cook for this many people. We'll fix this later, but I need you now. Another from Tiffany. Sobbing, the pantry's empty. Where's the food? Where's the good china? The tablecloth is. Please, just tell me where everything is. She was learning that houses don't run themselves. At 7:15, Alejandro texted, we're early and heading to your house. Arriving in 15 minutes. Perfect, they'd walk into peak chaos. At 8:20, Kevin called. I answered. Mom, he said, trembling, they're here, and we have nothing to offer. Tiffany's crying in the bathroom. What do I do? Tell them the truth, I said. For 5 years, you assumed I'd be your servant, and I decided I deserve a break. How? Do I explain that my mom left when we needed her most? He said. Needed me most, not when I needed respect, just when they needed me. Tell them I planned for weeks, shopped, cooked, worked, I said. It wasn't magic, it was effort. Mom, Tiffany's uncle wants to talk to you, he said. He's confused. Tell him Tiffany can explain, I said. She planned this, please, just 5 minutes, he begged. Kevin, I said firmly, for 5 years, I was there every time you needed me. Today, you solve your own problems. It's my family, he shouted. I heard Alejandro in the background, demanding answers. Young man, where's the woman of the house? The grandmother who invited us. Tiffany had painted me as the perfect hostess, and now they saw the truth. There's no misunderstanding. I told Kevin, just a reality you ignored for years. Family needs respect. I hung up and turned off my phone. At the hotel's business center, I checked emails. Valeria wrote, Margaret, we're at your house, and it's confusing. Tiffany said you left for an emergency, but there's no food, no decorations. Her attitude's odd. Can we talk? Alejandro's was sterner. I respect your emergency, but Tiffany can't explain why there's no food or decorations. This isn't what she promised. Please call. I replied to both. I'm sorry for the confusion. I had to leave early for personal reasons. The documents I sent show part of Tiffany and Kevin's financial reality. Have a frank talk with her about her spending and expectations. 20 minutes later, Alejandro called the hotel. Mrs. Margaret, thank you for answering. Is it true Tiffany made you cook and clean for all her gatherings? Yes, I said. For 5 years, I handled everything. She took credit. And the financial statements you sent, are they real? Straight from Kevin's files. Does she know you found her debts? Not until today. His voice turned cold. One more question. Why leave now? I was tired of being a servant in my own home, I said. Tiffany assumed I'd cook for 25 without asking. After a long pause, he said, my family owes you an apology. Tiffany lied to us, saying you were wealthy. She was the perfect organizer, and asking for money for Kevin's business when it was for her shopping debts. We believed her. Now we know you kept everything running. She needs to face the consequences. I said. Agreed, he said. The financial help she expected. Gone. She hasn't shown responsibility. My brother-in-law, Marco's furious. She asked him to evaluate your house for sale. That was new. I didn't know, I said. He feels deceived, Alejandro said. This Christmas is now a family intervention. Tiffany will answer for every lie. What about the others? I asked. They'll know tonight at dinner, he said. She doesn't know yet, but she's about to. I hung up, feeling warm satisfaction. Tiffany's lies were unraveling, just as I'd planned. That evening, I took a car service to drive by my house. It was chaos. Rental cars parked messily. Grocery bags scattered on the porch, like a crisis in progress. My phone buzzed with a text from Valeria. Can you call? I need to ask about documents, I called. Margaret, Tiffany's finances are worse than we thought, she said. She opened accounts in Kevin's name without him knowing. Possible identity fraud. Does Kevin know? We told him an hour ago. He's in shock, saying it's a misunderstanding. Valeria, did you know Tiffany told family I was making her the beneficiary of my will? I asked, what? She said you'd leave her the house and savings. She used that to borrow $20,000 from cousins, $20,000, based on lies about my death. That's false, I said. She's not in my will, she's in denial, Valeria said. Says you're vengeful because you felt left out. We're eating pizza on paper towels because she can't cook or find the plates. Pizza for 25. Perfect. What now? I asked. Some are leaving tomorrow, she said. Others are staying to make her face consequences. All loans are being called in. Kevin's business support is gone. He's devastated, but he didn't know. My heart ached for Kevin. But this was the only way he'd see the truth. When I return, I said, Tiffany won't have free access to my house. There'll be new rules and consequences. Good, Valeria said. She needs to live in reality. The next morning, December 24th. I packed and called my lawyer, Robert. Are the documents ready? All set, he said. Will changes, deed amendment, residency agreements. Perfect, I said. I'll see you at my house in an hour, on Christmas Eve, he asked. It's the perfect time to teach my family about gratitude, I said. At 10 a.m., I walked into my house. Silence fell. Margaret, Kevin said, hopeful, his eyes tired. Tiffany followed, no makeup, clothes wrinkled, eyes puffy. Her family was there, Alejandro, stern. Valeria with a folder. Marco and Evelyn, disappointed. Mrs. Margaret, Alejandro said, shaking my hand. An honor to meet you. Sorry it's under these circumstances, sometimes. Truth comes out dramatically, I said. The doorbell rang. Robert, my lawyer. Good morning, he said. I'm Robert Miller, Margaret's attorney. Here to clarify family and financial matters. Tiffany paled. Why a lawyer? Because after 5 years of abuse, manipulation, and disrespect, I need protection, I said coldly. From what? Kevin asked, confused. From your wife using my death as loan collateral, planning to sell my house for her debts. and using your credit without permission. I said, silence. Tiffany sank onto the sofa, her lies exposed. Robert continued. Margaret's will now ensures this house can't be sold or mortgaged without her consent. Even after her death, it's in a trust protecting Kevin's interests but blocking speculation. Tiffany cried quietly. Kevin looked ashamed. Second, Robert said, Tiffany no longer has unrestricted access to this house. Visits must be approved by Margaret. What does that mean? Kevin asked, trembling. Your wife can't barge in, give orders, or expect me to be her maid, I said. Kevin, you never noticed I did all the work while she took credit. You never questioned why she never cooked or cleaned but bragged about being a perfect hostess. Kevin lowered his head. Alejandro spoke to Tiffany. You lied to us, made us think Margaret was wealthy, you were perfect, and asked for money based on lies. You disrespected a woman who deserved admiration, Uncle. I didn't mean, Tiffany started. Didn't mean to lie about your income? Commit fraud. Promise inheritances. Treat your mother-in-law like a servant. She had no answer. One more thing, I said to Tiffany. You'll repay every penny you borrowed with lies about my inheritance. You'll apologize to every family member you lied to. And you'll live within your means, not your fantasy. If she doesn't, Valeria asked. She faced legal consequences for fraud, Robert said, closing his briefcase. I faced the room. For 5 years, I gave up my dignity to keep the family together. But a family built on disrespect isn't a family, it's toxic. To Kevin. Son, I love you, but decide what kind of man you want to be, one who lets his wife abuse his mother or one who stands for respect. To Tiffany. You decide if you'll be an adult who faces consequences or a child expecting others to fix your messes. It was noon on Christmas Eve. Those who want a Christmas of honesty and respect can stay, I said, smiling. Those who choose lies can leave. For the first time in 5 years, I owned my house, my life, my future, and I'd never felt so free. Hit like and subscribe my channel for more revenge videos and share your story in comment section. Your voice matters.